Well, we've got Edith Kimani in studio with us. And Edith, you're going to be telling us a little bit more about the numbers behind these examinations, aren't you?
Well, yes, it's something that we're calling the forgotten majority. And it does sound oxymoronic to imagine that a huge population of students can go unnoticed, but actually the numbers might reveal something completely different. So let's get to it. And we begin at the Super Bowl. We call them the hidden numbers, which at the moment are still hidden. There we are. The hidden numbers, a forgotten majority. So we'll begin in 2002. This is where the journey of the people who are currently celebrating or either disappointed because of their results began. This is when they enrolled in Class 1. And in that year, there are conflicting figures over just how many people enrolled in Class 1, but it's anywhere between 5.2, there are figures which say 5.8, 5.9 million. And that was when they were in Class 1. Then 8 years later, fast forward 2009, and only a paltry 727,054 were registered for the KCPE exam. So already there's such a huge bulk of them missing between Class 1 and Class 8, and this number decreases as we go on when they get to Form 4 in 2013, and the number that Kaimenyi said today was 446,696. If you do your calculations properly, you will see that this represents over 90% decline in the number of people from the time they joined Class 1 right until Form 4. And so we're asking, where exactly are these pupils? Which takes us to our second board. The reason why there are so many dropouts, or the reason why there are so many people who are missing. One of the reasons has been said to be poverty. If you have a choice between food and school, I think that's an easy one. You're going to choose food. Socio-cultural habits, things that we air every day on KTN, from female genital mutilation, early marriages, female genital mutilation, early marriages, and for the boys especially, if there is death in families, there are reports that the boys are then forced to go into the homes and act as adults, therefore abandoning school. Unfortunately, the economy, or fortunately, is indiscriminate, and out of all these, only 60% are going to be integrated into the tertiary education system. And by 60%, I don't mean 60% of the entire school-going population. I mean 60% of the little figure that we saw there earlier, the 446,000 students. And the tertiary education is not just university. We're talking about all of them. Polytechnics, we're talking about business and vocational institutions. They're all going to fall here. So 40% of the ones who got their results today are not going to make it into a tertiary institution. Then there's the national unemployment rate. So out of these ones, there's going to be another 60% here who will get jobs. 43.3% of them, according to statistics, are going to go without jobs. And they're going to join an already growing pool of unemployed Kenyans who are qualified and some unqualified, who have been tarmacking for many years and some for just a few months. And as we can see, most of them are the youth, 35 and below, making up 70% of the unemployed. And then we go to marginally, the difference between the boys and the girls when it comes to the exams. According to the results today, the data we got was that 54% of those who sat the exams were boys and only 45% of them were girls. If you look at these statistics, they don't look so bad. But when you look at how they're performing, then it begins to tell you something. Of the top 10, only 3 were girls. Of the top 100, 84 were boys. Only 16 of them were girls. Out of 100, only 84 of them were boys. So why are they performing? Why is there such a big disparity in the way that they're performing? Again, the answer lies to the first problem: poverty, socio-cultural practices, and this is an interesting one: sciences versus arts. Reports and studies show that children or students are feeling that they're being forced to take subjects that they're not really well versed in, that they're not interested in. And the interesting thing here when it comes to gender is that the girls say that subjects such as mathematics, physics, biology are more male oriented. And so even when they take them, they're already going in with a negative mentality. So that's what happened. Those are the figures when it comes to boys versus girls. And then we go to the last thing: marginally surviving. The reason we're calling them that is because all these regions are considered marginal regions in the country. apart from Kiambu. So Taita Taveta, Mombasa not so much, Isiolo, Kilifi, Kwale, and if we move to the other one, Garissa, Wajir, Lamu, Mandera, and Tana River. What we do know about these counties is that they are the bottom 10 counties in terms of results that were released today. I don't know if you'll notice, just take me back to the first one. I don't know if you'll notice, if you count the number of counties coming from the coast region, let's just begin here. Tana River, Lamu, and then if we go back to the other one, I'll just read them from where we are. Taita Taveta, we have Mombasa, Kilifi, and Kwale. 6 out of 10 of the bottom counties are from the coast region. Out of those 6, if you eliminate Mombasa, we are left with 5 from the coast region. Those 5 were ranked bottom in last year's results of KCPE results. So obviously there is a big problem when it comes to education in the coast region. The reasons for this that are being given according to KCSE, I'm being told, well, yes, KCSE and KCPE, they were bottom both for KCSE this year and KCPE last year. The reasons that are being credited for this, MRC, the outlawed Mombasa Republican Council, they're saying that it's causing unrest, it's making it difficult for continued learning, insecurity. We've had so many incidences of the Al-Shabaab and generally marginalization. Not enough resources going in that direction. They're saying the teacher-student ratios are really low. They don't have desks. We've had so many stories excuse me, from that county where people are sitting under trees learning. And so those are the figures that you're not going to hear coming from the minister, but they do exist. And these, sadly, are real people who are going to miss out on real opportunities. So back to you, Nancy. I'm glad I could bring some positive energy into the news.
Oh, those are some staggering numbers.
Yes.
But if I can just take you back to what you said at the beginning, from an enrollment of 5 million to 400,000.
400,000. And we expect next year to even have a wider gap, because the candidates who will sit for KCSE this year are the ones who enrolled for class 1 in 2003 when free primary education began, and that's when the numbers skyrocketed of class 1 enrollments.
And also to think only 27% of those who sat this year actually got a grade that will get them into university.
That's
so that
C,
number dwindles even
the C
further.
plus average, and we don't even know if they're guaranteed. Remember, there are those issues of poverty, there are those issues of social cultural issues,
Right.
practices, so it's not guaranteed. We call them figures, but they're people.
Oh, thank you very much.
Thank you.